if we can find Tlalamba, and she's left us the most intriguing track. It took us a while to kind of figure out what's going on here, but essentially if I sit, I'm not a very small human, I'm about 6'2", and you can see if I spread my arms, the width of this track starts over there and it ends over here, and it's from her rolling around. You can see there's all kinds of sort of smooth patches with little humps and movements, and initially we were wondering, why would she do this? This is quite typical of a mating pair of leopards, what you would normally see, but there's no male track here, so it's just a female track. So what we were thinking is that she must be in an estrus cycle at the moment and is looking for a male, and what she's doing is she's rolling all over the place. If you walk down the road a little bit, there's actually 2 different places where she's been doing the exact same behavior. So she walks and she's obviously rolling and trying to deposit as much scent as possible on the road, so that any male that walks here is going to immediately stop in this section and start to sniff. You can see how she's been scraping the ground with her feet, so this is her paws pulling sand back. You can see her little track in amongst all of this, and then there's various places where her tail has dragged. So if we go over here, this little mound over this section is where her tail was lying, so you can imagine the tail was like this, and as she pushed it, she pushed this little mound of sand here, and again as she went along she rolled again over there. And so this smooth section in the middle is from basically her tummy, where it's been rolling back and forth and her kind of rolling around, and then there's a few little tracks in here. What's interesting though is she walked south down this road. Now this road is typically Shadulu's kind of area. This is an area where Shadulu goes up and down. So she walks down a little bit, rolls, and then stops immediately, turns around, and is now going back to her normal area. So it's almost like she's marking the edges, as if to say to any male that's going to be around, I'm available and I'm ready. And I was hearing from Andrew yesterday, as he was telling me that she was calling and making a lot of noise last night, and that's quite indicative of a female in estrus, which is exciting, because if she is going to start mating now, obviously that means maybe we get cubs at some point. But it's just a very different track that you would normally see, and like I say, this is something you normally associate with mating leopards, because leopards, when they on their own, don't really like to move around like this and make a big disturbance on the road. They normally, if they do lie on the road, just lie down and sit, and you get kind of a very definite impression. But this is quite messy, and like I said, that's from her probably moving and flopping back and forth almost like a fish out of water. And I wouldn't be surprised as if there's a scent mark on either this tree or one of the bushes close by as she goes. And she then turns and goes back up, and there's a termite mound just in front of us, and that termite mound is where she went up, and she's gone over now and is heading towards Galago Pan. So we're going to try and see if we can follow the tracks and find her. She's definitely kind of leaving lots of signs for us, so it should be easier with her doing this.